I'm here with L.T.P. Two dots. Stop.
What's good with you?
Nothing new. What about yourself?
Maintaining, doing this music thing. I got a show, actually, in like an hour and a half. But other than that, just trying to stay afloat, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Recording songs. I gotta go to the studio, uh, Sunday, you know. And, we're gonna, this is just raw uncut. Um, we're gonna do it like this. We're just gonna be ourselves. We're not gonna do what the original plan was, like you interview me. We just gonna just off the top with it, because that's how I usually do it anyway. I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't get all.
That's called staying at afloat, right?
Yeah, like I don't do all that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the mission, to go to the studio for 8 hours. From 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening, and then from there I'm going to a show in Upper Darby in Philly, and I gotta be there by 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I done did so many different shows. I done did shows at the Khyber, uh, Charlie B's, Dowling Palace, Times Square. Uh, did the 50 Mics tour in Baltimore. I did. I performed in the bank. I performed in a parking lot. Um, I performed at the American Bar and Grill in Lancaster. Performed at performed in Columbia, Lancaster. Well, Columbia, right next to Lancaster.
Got you.
Uh, and I did a couple different Trocadero. I did a show there. Um, yeah, now I'm going to the Rain Lounge to do a show there tonight. So, I'm doing a lot of things, making some moves, but my moves aren't as big as I needed them to be, but that's the beauty of crawling before you walk. You know what I'm saying? So we got to build a stepping stone first. So once we build our stepping stone, then we take it to the next level, which is building your brand. Once you build your brand, your stepping stone is already there for you. That's what got you where you at, or where you trying to be. So once we build that stepping stone, then which is the foundation, then we take it to the next level, where so um, people view you and want to consider you for their venue, and then from then on, they pay you to come out instead of you coming to their event. They create an event, and then you come up, and then they give you X amount of dollars, and you perform for X amount of hours, and so on and so forth.
When you go into a new area in a new place,
right?
Are you scared?
Well, I wouldn't call it scared.
Nervous?
I'd be nervous on behalf of my stage presence. And the reason why I say that is because when you go into these shows and you conducting yourself as a musician slash artist, you have to consider the crowd and your performance. And what that means is you have to consider how the crowd reacts to what you're saying and what you're projecting through the microphone and how they respond to it. So when I go to these events and I'm performing, I focus on my performance as if it's going to be my last performance. And because it could very well be that. It could be my last performance, so I want to make sure that my performance goes out with a bang every time. So when I grab that microphone, I give everything. I might even give so much, whereas though, like, I'll have so much energy and so much, pride in what I'm saying that my heart will start racing so fast, my eyes get all watery, and it might get so watery where tears come out. And it's not that I'm emotional, it's just that I'm pushing out so much. It's kind of like when you have dry eyes, or you ever ever caught welder's flash, it's kind of like that without the burn.
Gotcha.
You know. So nah, and like I'm only nervous because I want the people to accept what I'm presenting. I want them to acknowledge my presence and say, okay, yeah, he is hot, or he is worthy of me listening to him and worthy of me taking time out of my moment or my day to listen to his CD or his website or his Facebook page or whatever like that. So, you know, that's the only reason what gets me nervous is that acceptance.
All right. From all of that you was just telling me about,
Mm-hmm.
how was the feedback when you at the place doing your show?
Majority of the time is good.
Okay.
You know, in Philly is a brutal. I always say brutal. It's real honest and upfront with their response. And
Okay.
a lot of times Philly is so laid back, but yet we still acknowledge what you're saying and also your stage presence. We still acknowledge it. So just because we're chilling, as we say, or we falling back and we're just observing how you're carrying yourself and your stage presence and how you're, getting the crowd involved with what you're saying, we still look at that and we still take that into consideration. We view that as our yay or nay. Like, okay, well, if he's hot, we're gonna, look at your stage presence and it should show.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So
That's better than crabs in the bucket. You know what I mean?
So I think for the most part, all of my shows have been relatively good. It's been good response.
Cool. That's a plus.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And when you go in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
how do you focus on the new song?
When I go into the studio, um, I usually pre-rehearse my songs,
Okay.
and what that means for me is I'll pre-record my songs on a little recorder that I purchased, and from that point I'll record my song onto it. Like I'll put the instrumental or the beat that I get from either J808 or Delphia Beats. I put the beat into the stereo, let it, project out, and then from that point I record it as if I'm actually in the studio. So then I have it pre-recorded on my little recorder, so I study it, and I study it back, for over and over and over and over and over until it's like second nature to me. So when I hear the beat, the rhyme already comes to me as if it was on the radio. From that point, when I'm in the studio, I don't burn up as much time as I would have as if I was to write it in the studio right then and there, and then it's fresh. It's too much room for error.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever I do a new song, I make it so the song is old to me by the time I get to the studio.
Makes sense.
So that way it's like second nature when I'm reciting it, and I have to put all the emotion and feeling to every line, so it's believable.
Gotcha.